Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about how to access and complete an assignment that your teacher has shared with you. So the first thing that I really want to get into is the difference between the content library and the student notebook. In the content library, this is a place for your teachers to place documents that are read-only. So if you're trying to take your stylus and mark up this page, it's not going to let you do that, so that the teacher keeps a clean copy for the entire class. If you want to take this page and write on it as your own work, then you need to come over to the name of the page, and if you will right click, then you can see Move Copy in the list. It shouldn't let you move that, but always be careful that you click on your notebook and then where you want it to go, and then you say copy. Move should be marked out in OneNote, but if it's not, it's just always a good idea to just say copy instead of move. If you move it, you've actually moved it, and there doesn't exist that copy in the content library anymore, instead of keeping the file in the content library and then making a copy in your own notebook. So if you come over to your notebook, then you can see here that this is your actual document that you could use your stylus and write on to take additional notes on top of what the teacher's already given to you. So I was going to show you here in the content library, we have day 2's digital literacy work. And if you go into your notebook, you can see that that page isn't there. So all we have to do is go into the content library. If the teacher, most of your teachers are probably going to distribute the page and you'll find it in your own notebook. If the teacher's not using OneNote in that way, then you'll have to just come over here into the content library, right click. You can even just say copy, go down to your notebook and paste it. And then that way you'll have it in your notebook to work on. On day 1 here, I have an assignment that the teacher has given me. There's a Word document here that they want me to work in. So if I double click on the icon, at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see where Word is kind of flashing at you, asking you to open it. So if I click there, you can see that I've been given an assignment to make a poster about being a digital citizen. I'm going to come up here and say enable editing, and then you're actually going to submit your work there. So here, for example, I've just taken that other information so I can show you how it works. Now I'm done with this. I'm going to submit it as my work for the day. And let's just say I'm going to close it. It prompts you to either save or not save that work. So if you choose not to save this work, it's very possible that you're not going to be able to get that work back later. We've seen some of those problems last year with students losing work. So when you're prompted here, make sure that you click save, and then it should take you back to OneNote. Another important thing about opening files within OneNote to work on, when I'm in OneNote, I double click on it to open it to work on it. I'm working here. Let's say class has ended and I'm ready to leave. You need to make sure that you're closing this Word document before you leave class. If you leave it open, hanging on your desktop, it could lose its connection to OneNote and possibly lose your work for that day. We did see some of that occur last year as well. So it's just really important that when you're working on a document, you open it, you work on it, and then as soon as you're leaving a class or done with that page at that time, that you go ahead, save and close and put it back in OneNote. It can get lost if you leave it hanging out here on your desktop to get to later. It often will lose a connection to OneNote. It becomes a temporary file and it's hard to find. So it's just a really good habit to open it, work on it, and then close it again. You can also see some of the time stamping on the document for the page. Like this is when I created the page. We can come in Word and look at the file itself and see related dates, for example, like last modified, some information about the document itself. If the teacher's using Teams, then the assignment will have due dates and timestamps in that manner. So there are multiple ways that a teacher can verify when your work was submitted and when you worked on it. So you need to be aware that you need to get your assignments in at the time that this teacher has asked for those assignments, and be aware that there are ways that we can verify that that work was submitted during that time. Okay, I think that's all that I wanted to share in terms of opening and working on an assignment for a class.